Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Thank you for watching Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. Officials with the state and Volkswagen announced this morning that Chattanooga will be home to the company's first electric vehicle manufacturing facility in North America. Channel 3's Jake Chapman has been following the story. He has the details. And Jake, how many jobs will this bring to the area?
Well, Latrice, this new facility is expected to create over 1,000 jobs here in the Tennessee Valley. Now, Volkswagen is investing $840 million in this new facility. They announced earlier this morning at the Detroit Auto Show. Now, we actually just wrapped up a press conference earlier with the Chamber of Commerce. Just like I said moments ago, the Chamber President, Christy Gillenwater, says she isn't shocked VW picked Chattanooga for this new plant since they have such a great report, such a great history with working with Volkswagen. Now, not only did Volkswagen announce this earlier this morning, but Governor Bill Haslam, Governor-elect Bill Lee, Chattanooga Mayor Andy Burke, and Hamilton County Mayor Jim Coppinger were all at Volkswagen during the announcement at the Detroit Auto Show. Burke and Coppinger say they're excited to see Volkswagen invest in Chattanooga and Hamilton County, saying this investment shows how much the area has grown in the past decade. Now, Volkswagen CEO Dr. Herbert Dice says Chattanooga has been a big part of Volkswagen's growth in North America. Now, the production for this new facility won't begin until 2022. And Mayor Burke just tweeted moments ago, or actually tweeted earlier this morning, that they will actually be starting production on a 7-seater SUV at this new facility where 1,000 jobs will be created. We're going to continue following the story throughout the rest of the day. For now, I'm live in Chattanooga. Jake Chapman, Channel 3. Eyewitness News.
All right, some big economic news for this area. Thank you, Jake. Well, Volkswagen is not the only automaker investing in Tennessee at this time. Here's the other information that we have as well. General Motors announced their new Cadillac XTG6 crossover will also be built at the Spring Hill facility. Senator Marsha Blackburn responded to the major announcement by saying both Volkswagen and General Motors' decisions to expand their businesses in Tennessee are further proof that our workers and also our business-friendly climate create a great place for jobs growth. Now, you can read more about both announcements inside the WRCB app. All right, time now to turn to David Karnes in the Storm Alert Center as Brittany continues maternity leave. And David, off to a cold, chilly start this work week.
A little bit. It just will not warm up, and I don't think we're going to see it warming up much at all today. Take a look. It's been, it just warmed up a degree. It's been at 42 degrees the past 2 hours. Now 43. We'll probably get up to about 44 degrees, but you get the idea. It's going to be cool, maybe a little breezy at times, and mostly cloudy skies through the day. No rain in the forecast, though, at least not for today. We do have rain moving in possibly by Thursday, and then again on Saturday. So we'll break all of that down for you coming up in just a few minutes. Latrice.
All right, thank you, David. Well, today, Georgia, the state will swear in its 83rd governor there in the Peach State. Republican Brian Kemp will replace Nathan Deal, who took office in 2011. A prayer service was held this morning at the Cathedral of St. Philip in Atlanta. Now, the inauguration is this afternoon at 2 p.m. at Georgia Tech. Kemp made a stop in Dalton this weekend, thanking his supporters ahead of his inauguration.
It's a great part of our state, and we wanted to make sure we got up here to say thank you to everyone and let them know that I'm going to be a governor that's going to be working for our whole state, all four corners and everywhere in between.
Kemp will also swear in other state officials today, including Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. Well, if you or someone you know relies on food stamps, you must turn in your paperwork today in order to receive benefits for February because of the government shutdown. The Tennessee Department of Human Services will keep their offices open 2 hours later today to make sure that people get their SNAP benefits. If you have already filed for February, they're expected to arrive on or before January 20th. The deadline to file for benefits is 6:30 tonight. Happening today, Hamilton County families can attend a magnet school fair. This is to learn more about special instructions and programs only available at certain schools. Channel 3's Tim Pham joins us now in the studio with more on this. And Tim, what do families need to know about this event?
Latrice, this is a one-stop shop for families. For those interested in exploring magnet schools, you have the chance to see all 15 of them tonight to see which is the right fit for your family. Families will be able to meet with representatives from schools and learn more about what each school has to offer. If you're not familiar, magnet schools are still a part of the public school system, but they offer special instruction and programs not available at other schools. Each have different themes and instructional approaches, and class sizes range from 18 to 21 students per class and are often more diverse because students from anywhere in the county can apply to attend.
The reason why I chose the magnet school over public school is because it's more hands-on in regard to the teachers and the parents.
The fair tonight is free and open to the public. It will take place from 5 to 7 this evening at the South Chattanooga Recreation Center. Applications for magnet schools are due on January 31st. Then on February 1st, open enrollment for other schools begins. Live in the studio, I'm Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Tim. Well, the next generation of students in Dalton will have a shiny new campus to call home. Construction crews are breaking ground on Hammond Creek Middle School today. Officials will be there to show off the new site this afternoon at 4:30. There are high hopes for this campus. Renderings of the school even show an area where another new school could be built. Hammond Creek Middle is set to open in 2021. Well, events celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. continue today. This evening, East Dell Village Community Church will hold a ceremony remembering ML King as a political prisoner. And tomorrow, the Concerned Citizens for Justice will hold Community Control Now on the Road to Liberation at Bethel AME Church. That's at 6 p.m. We have a complete list of this week's events inside the WRCB app. Well, ahead on Eyewitness News at noon.
I'm Jamie Tucker in Las Vegas at CES. Are you watching our newscast right now on a 4K TV? Well, get ready. 8K is coming.
Well, just when you think you have the latest technology, something new comes out that you just have to have. Some of the major players in the TV world introduce new sets that are supposed to be much better than the one you're watching now. Well, our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker was at CES in Las Vegas last week and has more.
Televisions are always a big star of CES. They're always getting bigger. They're always getting brighter. You may be watching this newscast right now on a 4K television. Pretty soon you'll want one of these 8K TVs. Every TV company is touting new 8K televisions that have 4 times the resolution of the 4K TVs that are out now. What does that mean?
Resolution is based on how many little pixels or dots are on the screen. So we went from about 8 million little dots on the screen on a 4K TV to over 33 million on an 8K TV.
Now, that's a lot of numbers, so what does that all mean? Who really needs an 8K TV?
As consumers are buying bigger and bigger TVs, they're not moving their couches back, so they're sitting closer and closer to the TV, which means eventually they'll be able to see these little pixels.
So with 8K, I could have a 300-inch screen and sit about 10 feet away. Could you imagine that? We're talking better than the cinema experience.
And if you don't want a television that takes up that much room on your wall, you can try this one that hides the fact you have a TV at all.
And with LG and our OLED technology, we have the ability now to build a rollable television.
A credit card, then this TV rolls up from a box when you want to watch something and then rolls back into a bench when you're not watching anything. Now, you can't buy an 8K television right now. You're not going to run down to the store and pick one up. But the good news is, once those 8K televisions come out, the prices for the 4K TVs will drop. From CES in Las Vegas, I'm Jamie Tucker, and that's What the Tech.
Well, there is one Samsung 8K television model on sale now. It'll just cost you $15,000 bucks. Well, coming up on Eyewitness News at noon, several years ago, a man named Alan started selling country ham and bacon in Madisonville. Well, since then, it has been awarded as the world's best bacon by several magazines and competitions. If you haven't heard of it yet, well, we'll tell you why you might want to make a visit there soon. That's all coming up in this week's 3 in Your Town.
It is not an exaggeration. It is not an exaggeration to say that behind me in this unassuming building on the side of 411 in Madisonville, the fine men and women of Benton's make the world's best bacon.
We constantly refer to ourselves here as hillbillies. We wear that moniker proudly. The food I make was literally sustenance food for poor Appalachians. The recipe came straight from the log smokehouse behind the house I was born in.
Alan Benton has been in the country ham business since 1973. He's been written up in dozens of magazines, appeared in countless television programs. He is top hog in the food industry. But it hasn't always been glitz and glamour for this culinary king.
The first 25 years in business, I struggled. It was a real struggle just to keep the door open. In the last 20 years, we've seen a lot of growth, and our products are popular with chefs all over the country. And for that, we owe each one of them that uses it a debt of gratitude, because we were literally starving to death until they came on board.
His meats have an extremely distinct flavor not found in your variety supermarket selection.
As you can tell, if you've ever had my bacon or my prosciutto, I'm after this big, bold flavor, and people either love it or they don't, but I think a lot of our American palates, especially here in the South, love that rich flavor of pork and salt and smoke.
It's not a mystery as to why his meat has a bold, smoky flavor, but there's actually another reason his meat is sought out by industry professionals.
My bacon is made only with salt and brown sugar. No nitrates, no nitrites, no words you can't pronounce. It's a very natural product, very intense in flavor, and we're blessed that people like that big, bold flavor that we produce here.
Mr. Benton is a humble man, but he is very proud of his product. He's always searching for ways to improve the quality of it without forsaking the methodology in which he got it there.
This is a product of 100 years ago, and it's kind of been rediscovered and people like it, and we proudly wear that hillbilly moniker.
People found out that hillbilly's been doing it right for a long time.
For a long time.
All right, well, time now to turn to David Karnes in the Storm Alert Center. That bacon ham looked good, didn't it, David?
Everything's better with bacon. Bacon donuts, bacon cake, ice cream, whatever. Cool and cloudy today. No rain, but it is going to be a little brisk with the wind blowing about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It gets even colder during the morning hours of Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, the afternoon hours are actually going to be climbing, warming a little bit, but the morning hours are going to be in the 20s and 30s both Tuesday and Wednesday morning. We are going to warm up a little bit on Thursday. Rain is going to move in late in the day Thursday, and then more rain over the weekend. Nothing on our view@missionridge.com camera, just overcast skies and the traffic flowing smoothly. It is 43 degrees in Chattanooga, 41 in Cleveland, 44 in Murphy, and 41 degrees in Blue Ridge. No problems with our pollens and molds, and air quality is low, just kind of chilly and cloudy all day today. Here's your high-res satellite showing those clouds overhead, but again, no rain embedded in there, and we'll see the clouds staying with us. Diminishing somewhat tonight. It's still going to be partly cloudy tonight. We'll still have some clouds, but through the day on Tuesday, we'll start to see it clearing out. Again, cold in the morning. It'll drop into the upper 20s and low 30s, and then warm nicely on Tuesday afternoon, but it is going to be sunny and okay outdoor weather for you. It'll be in the mid 40s on Tuesday. Another cold start on Wednesday in the 20s, and then we will warm it up to the upper 40s heading into Wednesday afternoon. Thursday will even climb into the low 50s ahead of this front, and you can see the rain showers moving in late in the day between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. We'll see some rain showers moving through on Thursday, last into the evening hours, and then through Friday we're going to see it clearing out. Should be a nice day on Friday, a few clouds here and there. It'll be in the mid 40s during the morning and in the upper 50s, near 60 degrees on Friday afternoon. Friday will be a good outdoor day for you before the rains move in on Saturday to late morning through Saturday afternoon, and you can see all of that snow well to our north. For us on Saturday, though, it is just rain that we're going to be dealing with. Now, heading into Sunday morning, that low will work its way off to the northeast, taking the snow up toward New York and Washington. For us, on the backside of this, as colder air spills in, it'll be in the low to mid 30s on Sunday morning. We may see a little bit of frozen precipitation, flurry, or an area of sleet here and there, but things will quickly clear out through the day on Sunday, and it should be an okay afternoon for you. Rainfall amounts could get very heavy at times, especially on Saturday. 2 to 3 inches of rain a possibility as we move through Thursday and Saturday combined. Mostly cloudy today, though. Jacket weather all day long. Not going to get past 44 in Chattanooga, Cleveland, 46 in Dalton. And then tonight, mostly cloudy and cold, much colder, dropping to 31 in Chattanooga, 29 in Cleveland, and 29 degrees in Murphy. Our Storm Alert 7-day forecast, again, you can see some cold mornings lay ahead, but then we see it warming up as we head through the afternoon hours. 52 on Wednesday. Plenty of dry air to take us through the first part of the week. And then late in the day, again between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., we'll see rain showers moving through on Thursday. A nice, comfortable day on Friday, 45 in the morning, near 60 in the afternoon. And then late morning through the day, we're going to see rain showers heavy at times on Saturday. So Saturday looks kind of like a washout at this point, and maybe even a little wintry mix on Sunday morning, and then clearing out and much colder weather settling in on Sunday afternoon, Latrice.
Okay, so the weekend, especially Saturday, could get a little interesting.
Looking rough, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, as the government shutdown continues, the country becomes more vulnerable. According to Netcraft, an internet services company, over 80 government websites have expired security certificates. This means those websites are not secure or they're inaccessible, making them vulnerable to hackers. For example, the U.S. Department of Justice website says it will not be updated regularly. The U.S. Court of Appeals website says not secure in the browser. Well, the NHL is using high technology to keep tabs on players during games. New virtual reality technology will provide information on things like player speed and distance and the speed of their shots. The NHL plans to have the system in place throughout the league next season, but you can get a sneak peek later this month. Fans can see it in action during the All-Star game on Saturday right here on Channel 3. Broadcasters will have access to the data during their coverage. The game begins at 8. Still to come on Eyewitness News at noon, a new trend hitting several states, recycling your mattresses. We're going to tell you about that plus other trending stories. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to What's Trending. There's now a growing movement in the country to recycle something you use every day, your mattress. I know.
It's a good thing. More than 50,000 mattresses are thrown away every day in the U.S. Oh, the stories they could tell. But they can take 90 years to decompose in landfills. Did not realize that. Wow. Right now, mattress recycling is a law in California, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Nationwide, this has created more than 200 jobs, saved many cities in trash disposal costs. I see how that is just a good idea all around.
I was going to say, really can't say anything bad about that. Any complaints when you think about it. I mean, 90 years. I didn't realize it would take that long.
I guess it's just sitting there, sure.
Right, so yeah.
But, yeah,
so
especially the box springs or the springs if you can take the
Yeah, when you saw that, when they took the cover off and the springs were there. All right, so good idea there.
Yeah, Kansas City homeless man saw someone's car stuck in the snow and decided to help. Oh, little did he know he was rescuing Chiefs offensive lineman Jeff Allen.
Okay, well, Allen was on his way to the divisional playoff game on Saturday when his car got stuck. So Dave Cochran, who was living out of his truck with his girlfriend and their small dog, helped pull the car out of the snow. Well, Allen tracked him down, said, "Who was this guy?" on social media. And guess what, David? He got tickets to the AFC Championship game. And if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, maybe he will get tickets there as well.
Maybe. We'll see.
But you know what? That was like really, because he didn't obviously have any idea who he was helping.
Why did he have to track him down? He was right there with him. Why did he have to track him down?
I don't know, David, because he had to get to the game. He had to get to the game and play.
So
then he had to figure out later who it was who helped him.
That is good.
That is good. All right, so here we go. Have you taken the challenge? How hard did aging hit you? It's the latest challenge trending on social media, David Karnes.
Yeah.
Have you taken that challenge?
So,
I don't think a lot of guys have, but let's see, David.
I did just for this segment, and I didn't have my earliest picture on Facebook was from 2012. Latest one was 2017 that I had used as a, it's supposed to be your profile pic. And so this was my first ever profile picture, and one of my more recent ones side by side, and I guess I've gained a little weight, got a little more gray, you know, whatever.
You haven't really changed though. The hair is still like perfectly in place. The hair has not moved. We always
haven't touched it in 5 years.
Hairspray, Sherry says, we always tease David Karnes and we tell him he has the perfect hair. But yeah, so no, it hasn't.
It's a lot of shellac.
You have not really changed.
How about you?
Okay, all right, so mine's up next. All right, so we'll see.
There we go. Wow.
So mine goes back to 2009 until now, though. All right, so was that like you see a big difference?
Only thing that has changed is your hair. Your hairstyle is the only thing. Latrice, you will never age.
Oh my God, thank you, David. But anyway, but I think that's honestly with women, if you go on there and you see it, that's the dead giveaway for most women. The hairstyles. I mean, you had like the bigger hair or the different color hair, and so, and for some of us like the blue or green eyeshadow. So. But anyway, it was so funny. I have to admit, for because most women were taking this challenge, so some of the guys on there were saying like, "Oh, okay, let me do this challenge. This is what I look like at 1:25, and this is what I look like 10 minutes later." It's they're like, so we can get in on this challenge too, because none of the guys are really taking the challenge. It's like, all right.
My producer helped me, urged me into doing the challenge.
Yes, she did. She's like, Karnes, take that challenge. So anyway, David has aged gracefully as well. All right, ahead in the next half hour of Eyewitness News at noon. Volkswagen makes a big announcement this morning at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit. And if you receive SNAP benefits, we have an important deadline to tell you about. And researchers at the Mayo Clinic may have found the key to detecting heart problems before they ever show symptoms. Stay with us.
Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Well, thank you for joining us on Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. Today at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Volkswagen made a major announcement, expanding its production at the Chattanooga plant. Channel 3's Jake Chapman has been following the story and has more details. Jake, tell us all about this expansion. What is it for, and how many jobs will it create here in this area?
Well, Latrice, this new expansion will actually start the manufacturing of Volkswagen's new electronic vehicle in the next coming years, and this new facility will create over 1,000 jobs here in the Tennessee Valley. Now, Volkswagen is investing over $840 million into this new facility. The announcements of these plans was made earlier this morning at the Detroit Auto Show. Now, we actually had some Tennessee officials that were at that Detroit Auto Show. Governor Bill Haslam, Governor-elect Bill Lee, Chattanooga Mayor Andy Burke, and Hamilton County Mayor Jim Coppinger were all in attendance. We're all in attendance. Burke and Coppinger say they're excited to see Volkswagen invest in Chattanooga and Hamilton County. They say this investment shows how much the area has grown in the past decade when Volkswagen built their first plant here back in 2008. Now, Volkswagen CEO Dr. Herbert Dice says Chattanooga has been a big part of Volkswagen's growth here in North America. Now, just earlier this morning, the Chamber of Commerce held a press conference here at the Chamber of Commerce as well. The Chamber President, Christy Gillenwater, says she isn't shocked VW picked Chattanooga for its new plant because they have such a great rapport here with the scenic city, and they're looking forward to doing more business with them in the future. Now, the new facility will not be finished, until 2022, and that's when they'll start production on their new electronic car. For now, I'm live in Chattanooga. Jake Chapman, Channel 3. Eyewitness News.
Alrighty, thank you, Jake. Well, Volkswagen made their major announcement in Detroit, as you just saw, as the highly anticipated auto show celebrates 30 years. The show opens to the public later this week, but NBC's Jay Gray is taking us inside today with a closer look at the latest models and what could be a pivotal year in the industry.
Yeah, you know, the car show here in Detroit has kicked off with the announcements that we hear every year, the exciting car, utility, and truck of the year. So let's not waste any time, get right to it. First, the Genesis G70, the car of the year this year. The utility is the Hyundai Kona, and then finally for pickup or truck of the year, it's the Ram 1500. This show finds the industry in a bit of a transition stage right now. One of the main reasons is a lot of makers and drivers, for that matter, are kind of saying goodbye to the sedan. It's the crossover, the truck, and the SUV that are taking its place. Also this year, maybe a dip in sales for the first time in a long time.
The worry is this industry for 2019, for the first time in a decade, doesn't grow.
For the last 4 years, we've seen record sales numbers, over 17 million new vehicles sold. This year, though, we expect to see a lot of late model lease returns on the pre-owned market, and that could take some of the buyers away from the new car sales.
Compared to where we have been, I think it may be a bit lower, but I think all in all still fairly strong.
Either way, it looks like this year, 2019, could be a good year for consumers. You could get a good deal on a car. There are plenty to choose from, and they're all here in Detroit as we get the auto show underway. That is the latest from Detroit. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Time now to turn to David in the Storm Alert Center for a check of our forecast as we are off to another chilly start this work week.
Yeah, absolutely, and we just can't get that temperature to go up at all today. We're going to keep it in the low 40s. Some of you in the higher elevations may not even get out of the 30s. It's 37 right now in Mount Eagle and 43 in Chattanooga. It's really not going to warm up much more than that. You can see it staying generally in Chattanooga in the low 40s. So trying to get outside, get a little yard work done. It's going to be a little cool today. We will see cold mornings, but afternoons warming up a little more respectably than what you see there. We'll have it up to near 50 degrees by tomorrow at least, and even by Friday we're going to be near 60 degrees. But between now and Friday, we do have rain in the forecast and maybe some rain over the weekend as well. We'll touch on all of that coming up in just a few minutes, Latrice.
All righty, thank you, David. Well, if you rely on food stamps, the government shutdown could impact your next supply. You must turn in paperwork today in order to receive benefits for next month. Channel 3's Brian Ditlake tells us what people need to know.
We realize this deadline to submit paperwork requires a tight turnaround, but it's very important that we all work together to ensure everyone who qualifies for February SNAP benefits receives them.
Sky Arnold with the Department of Human Services says not everyone should worry about the food stamp deadline Monday. It only applies to individuals who are renewing their benefits or filing a 6-month simplified report form. If you've already filed for February SNAP benefits, they are expected to arrive earlier than usual on or before January 20th. Arnold says just because February's benefits are coming early doesn't mean you should wait to file for the next month's supply.
We can't stress enough how important it is for those who depend on SNAP to budget these early February benefits, especially those who are accustomed to receiving funds towards the middle or the end of the month. We don't know when the shutdown will end.
Nearly 39 million people in the United States depend on food stamps, and more than 900,000 Tennesseans depend on SNAP. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, has asked landlords not to evict tenants covered by the program. Instead, they're asking landlords to use reserve funding to cover residents. SNAP recipients could go until March without another supply.
And even if the government shutdown ends in February, March benefits would be loaded on the usual date. That means customers could go as long as 2 months between SNAP dispersals.
February will be the only month SNAP benefits will come early. If you have not been notified by the Department of Human Services, you don't have to submit any additional documents to receive SNAP benefits.
Brian Didlake with that report. The deadline to file for benefits 6:30 tonight. There is an office located on Brainerd Road. If you think you're affected, click on this story and sign the WRCB app for more information. The state of Tennessee wants to require some low-income residents to keep busy in return for their health care. Tennessee lawmakers are seeking federal approval that would require adults with Medicaid, also known as TennCare, to work, volunteer, or take classes. It would affect about 56,000 Tennesseans. If someone violates that potential law, the government could suspend their health coverage. There is some fine print, though. The requirement would not apply to pregnant women, the elderly, or disabled. You might need to start packing hand sanitizer and Lysol this month. New data from the CDC shows that widespread flu activity is in 30 states. Fortunately, it is only being reported as regional for Georgia and Tennessee, although it is widespread in Alabama. The CDC also says more than 6 million Americans have caught the flu this season. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic may have found the key to detecting heart problems before they ever show symptoms, and it's all thanks to artificial intelligence. Danny Spewak explains how this new study has major implications for millions of Americans.
This is called a left ventricular assistive device.
As she waits for a new heart, Christy Arend wears this pump to keep her alive. Her symptoms first appeared 11 years ago.
Have been kind of going downhill ever since, or fighting heart failure.
About 7 million Americans have weak heart pumps they're not even aware of, which can lead to heart failure. So Mayo Clinic researchers set out to find a solution.
We thought it would be very helpful if there was an inexpensive, widely available, painless, rapid screening test that would let people know they have a condition.
Enter the electrocardiogram, known as an ECG or EKG. You've probably seen it before. It records your heart's electrical signals. Mayo Clinic research now shows that applying artificial intelligence to EKGs can now pick up on weak heart pumps that doctors might not have been able to detect with the human eye.
And so it's picking up very early disease and giving us the opportunity to potentially intervene at a very early stage.
Patients could then receive medications and treatment to prevent heart failure down the road. It's something Arend hopes future patients will have access to.
What I would hope is that they would use this to find out what kind of interventions could make it possible.
Mayo Clinic is rolling out a pilot program to use the artificial intelligence for early detection. The AI could even someday be used in tandem with EKGs performed on smartphones or even a special stethoscope that's in the process of being developed.
The potential is very large for helping human health.
Technology that once seemed far-fetched may now be the wave of the future.
Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, heart disease is a leading cause of death among men and women. If you're thinking about taking your child to another school come August, the deadline to apply is almost here. A new open enrollment program is letting students switch to certain schools within Hamilton County. The deadline to apply for magnet schools is January 31st. And if you're trying to send your child to a future-ready institute, early college, or open enrollment school, the deadline is February 1st. If you want to learn more about the county's magnet schools, an event will be held tonight where students and their parents can visit all 15 of the county's magnet schools in one night. It will take place from 5 until 7 this evening at the South Chattanooga Recreation Center and is hosted by Hamilton County Schools. We have more information inside the WRCB app. Well, beginning in the spring, East Tennessee State University will be expanding scholarships and waiving out-of-state tuition for military service members, their families, and veterans. The school will offer 15 $1,000 scholarships each semester to military spouses or children. An additional 10 scholarships of $1,500 each will go to veterans who no longer receive GI Bill benefits. ETSU is the only university in Tennessee to offer such incentives. Ahead on Eyewitness News at noon. Heavy snow caused problems for some fast food lovers. Details coming up after the break. Snow caused problems for fast food fans at a New Mexico drive-in. Heavy snow brought down the awning at a Sonic drive-in in Los Alamos yesterday. 3 vehicles were trapped in the collapse, but no one was hurt. Fire officials say all the snow from back-to-back storms simply just proved too much for the metal awning. Snow and ice have also made for dangerous travel conditions. All right, no snow here, but chilly weather continues as we are, stuck in the lower 40s, David?
Yep, snow, go away. Yeah, we're going to keep it away, but we do have a lot of clouds, cool weather. Really haven't seen much of a warm up at all today. It's going to get even colder on Tuesday and Wednesday morning, and then we're looking at a little bit warmer weather moving in Thursday and even some rain moving in late in the day Thursday. No problems at all. Our view at missionridge.com camera showing pretty clear conditions, but clear in terms of no rain, but 43 degrees in Chattanooga. A little breezy also, winds out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour, bringing in all of that cold air. 39 degrees in Athens, 43 degrees in Murphy. Our allergy forecast looks good. You'll have no problems with pollen. Air quality also, molds are all low, just basically chilly and cloudy all day today. Here's our current satellite imagery, and you can see the clouds overhead. Pretty thick, but not producing any rainfall, and those clouds are going to begin to weaken as we move through the afternoon and into the evening hours. As a matter of fact, we'll look at sunny skies on Tuesday afternoon. A cold start on Tuesday. It's going to drop down into the upper 20s and low 30s, and then we'll climb into the 40s on Tuesday afternoon. Another cold start on Wednesday, dropping down into the 20s, warming up into the low 50s on Wednesday afternoon, and as you can see, lots of clear skies to go along with it. We're actually going to get even warmer on Thursday, but that will be ahead of rain that's going to be moving in, maybe even a little bit of heavy rain late in the day Thursday. I think between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. is when we'll start to see some of that rain moving in, and then it will last through the evening hours, but taper off during the overnight. Friday is going to clear out, should be nice and warm for you in the mid-40s in the morning, near 60 on Friday afternoon. Friday is going to be the big day to get outside and enjoy yourself, and do that before the rain moves in and the colder weather over the weekend. Saturday will be devoted to rain. It's going to be fairly warm. Again, 40s in the morning, near 60 in the afternoon, but we are going to have rain moving through. That rain will be heavy at times. All of that thick snow well to our north from St. Louis over into Columbus. All of that's going to move off to the northeast, and by Sunday morning, still maybe a little precipitation falling in Chattanooga. It's going to be cooler on Sunday morning in the low to mid 30s, so can't rule out at all a little bit of mixed precipitation in some of the higher elevations particularly, but we'll see even that diminishing and leaving by the afternoon hours of your Sunday. But colder, much colder air is going to settle in. Highs will only be in the low 40s on Sunday afternoon. Rainfall amounts could be pretty decent, anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches of rain if you combine Thursday and Saturday. And yeah, that rain will be fairly heavy at times, maybe even some isolated areas of flooding late in the day on Saturday. Mostly cloudy. We're going to have jacket weather all day today. 44 degrees in Chattanooga, 44 in Cleveland, not getting out of the 30s up on the plateau. And then tonight, much colder, mostly cloudy to start out. The clouds will begin to clear out overnight as lows drop into the upper 20s and low 30s, and then we'll climb back up to 49 degrees on Tuesday. So again, cold mornings for the next couple of days, but the afternoons will be trending upward, 52, and mostly sunny on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, cool in the morning, nice and mild in the afternoon, 54 degrees to the high. 70% chance of rain, though, late in the day Thursday. And then Friday, nice and mild temperatures, very comfortable. Saturday looks like rain, and then maybe a little mixed precipitation in the morning for your Sunday. Will clear out late Sunday, but look at the high going from 59 to 42, Latrice.
Oh, so yeah, drop there, and we'll feel it. All right, thanks, David. An American staple could find out its fate this week in a last-ditch effort to save the company. Sears chairman Eddie Lampert put in a $4.4 billion bid to keep 425 stores open. Now, that does not include the location at Hamilton Place Mall. The auction process ends today. Once the winner is chosen, it will go to a U.S. bankruptcy court for approval. Verizon customers in Sequatchie County, listen up. Verizon was having an issue with cell phone and data outages. According to the county's Facebook page, the outages happened on Sunday, but it has since been resolved. Now, Verizon says their engineers had to fix the towers in that area. Dade County Deputy Major Tommy Bradford says that they are preparing for the next major step in his recovery. This week, he's headed to Athens, Georgia to be fitted for a prosthetic leg. He also says he and his family are just relieved that justice was served 5 months after the crash that changed his life. Major Bradford says he's forgiven Laura Leanne Wooten. That's the woman who ran over him while she was trying to flee from law enforcement late in August. Last week, she was sentenced to 40 years. 15 of which she must serve behind bars. Now that it's over, he says he's ready to move forward. Shirley Boone, a philanthropist and the longtime wife of singer Pat Boone, has died. She was 84. She passed away on Friday, surrounded by her family. Shirley and Pat Boone were married for 65 years. In a statement to friends and family, Pat Boone wrote, "Quick bulletin, change of address. Dear Shirley Boone doesn't dwell in Beverly Hills now. She's just been warmly welcomed into a beautiful new mansion in heaven." The family of the woman who died from a plane crash in Soddy Daisy held a celebration of life at the Urban Lawn in Chattanooga over the weekend. Channel 3's Brian Ditlake talked with her daughter, who says a traditional funeral would not have been what her mother wanted.
Elena Marinello is the daughter of Linda Marinello. She says if anybody knew her mother, she would want to be remembered with smiles and laughter instead of sorrow and sadness.
Linda Marinello is a ball of glitter and spunk and love and light and just the smallest, softest, most perfect angel that I'll ever know.
Linda Marinello was one of 2 people who died from a plane crash at Chickamauga Lake. Crews spent days recovering the plane and the bodies. Linda's daughter, Elena, says she is still in disbelief.
I'm still pretty numb. I think that that's pretty standard for anybody that loses a parent, especially on a situation like this where you don't see it coming.
Elena says seeing so many people come to her mother's celebration means the world, each person sharing their own memory of Linda.
We joked about so many things and had such a good time. Probably got in a little trouble together too, but that was part of it. Jersey girls are going to do that. So went beyond teaching history, went to teaching life lessons, was caring and loving, and that's where I'm going to start crying.
We hang our hats on little pieces of light within the situation, which are she didn't suffer. She would have never wanted to have wrinkles and be very old or have to feel like somebody else had to take care of her.
The family is set to have Linda Marinello's remains cremated and her ashes pressed into little pieces of jewelry to honor her wishes. Brian Ditlake, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Well, first responders were called to a massive fire in Massachusetts. Take a look. You can see the smoke and the flames billowing from this building in Cambridge. Authorities say the fire broke out early this morning. No word yet on any injuries. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The California company Pacific Gas and Electric is being investigated for its role in multiple deadly wildfires across California. The company's stock has decreased in recent months, and there have been reports it is on the verge of bankruptcy. California fire inspectors blame PG&E equipment for sparking a dozen fires across Northern California in 2017. And investigators are now looking into whether the utility company's equipment may have sparked a campfire which killed at least 88 people. The chief executive for Pacific Gas and Electric has stepped down. Coming up on Eyewitness News at noon, while thousands of people thought they were watching an ordinary game show, we're going to show you why the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Chargers are now a part of history, and wasn't an ordinary NFL game. Well, history was made at Gillette Stadium in, bless you, David Karnes, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts on Sunday. Down Judge Sarah Thomas became the first woman to officiate an NFL playoff game as the New England Patriots hosted the Los Angeles Chargers. She's no stranger to breaking through the glass ceiling. Thomas also holds the distinction of becoming the first full-time female NFL referee back in 2015, and she was the first to officiate a college bowl game. Well, Game of Thrones fans, get ready. The final season will begin April the 14th. HBO made the announcement yesterday. In a video released yesterday, the main characters are seen in the crypts of Winterfell. Fans have eagerly awaited the 6-episode finale of the show since season 7 of the popular HBO show ended in August of 2017. The fantasy series based on the George R.R. Martin novels has been one of HBO's most successful shows. HBO isn't getting out of the Game of Thrones business. A prequel created by Martin and writer-producer Shane Goldman is underway, with Naomi Watts set to star, and other spin-offs are possible. Well, special guests and new details are coming together for tomorrow's telecast of NBC's The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon from Puerto Rico. The show will focus on celebrating the spirit and the culture of the island and its efforts to rebuild and raise awareness following the devastating hurricane, September 20th of 2017. Lin-Manuel Miranda and the new touring cast will be featured in an exclusive performance of The Story of Tonight from the blockbuster musical Hamilton. Miranda, who will also be interviewed by Fallon on January 15th show as well. All right, when we come back, we're going to have one last look at your forecast. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Heading out, grab the coat.
Yeah, big time. It was in the low 40s this morning. It's in the low 40s right now.
It's still in the low 40s.
It's even down to the 30s. It's been at about 37 degrees all day in Monteagle, still there. 41 in Cleveland, 44 degrees in Murphy. Allergy forecast, no problems with allergies or anything out there at all. Highs today will be in the 40s again, and then very cold, dropping into the upper 20s and low 30s tonight. Rain Thursday, rain again on Saturday, Latrice.
All right, thanks, David. Well, some wounded U.S. military veterans got to take part in some unique physical and emotional therapy yesterday. Take a look at this. A group of wounded warriors got to swim with dolphins in the Florida Keys. The swim with the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins was the conclusion of a 3-day Florida Keys soldier ride cycling event. 44 wounded U.S. military veterans shared dolphin kisses, flipper shakes, high fives, and dorsal pulls as well. So it looked like they enjoyed that. That's awesome. Yeah, that really is awesome. That's a look at Eyewitness News at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. Bundle up. Days of Our Lives is next. Have a good one, everyone.